Live. Whoa, look at those eyes.
Flip those pancakes, drizzle that maple syrup, and crisp up that bacon. Good morning from the 808 Breakfast Banter. Pancakes with Ricky this morning. Got my coffee.
Ooh,
Good morning, big bro. Good
PCs.
morning. Good morning to
PCs.
everyone.
Good morning,
Happy
good morning.
Wednesday. It's a beautiful, crisp, blue skies day. I woke up with the sunrise this morning and just counting my blessings. So, yeah, good morning, everyone. How are you, bro?
Good. I had like a little bit of a like an up and down sleep last night. I was kind of up, because I think because we got so much kind of like in the pipeline that I couldn't rest. I was like really I couldn't get into a deep sleep. But I'm feeling good today. And then the class was awesome. The guys did really well this morning. And it was cold, like it was frosty.
Yeah.
And I'm a hot weather trainer.
Person. Yeah.
I hate the cold, man. Like, there are people that I'm brown, dude. Like, brown does not equal cold.
Yeah. I mean, getting up for the early morning sessions is just like, even the ground's cold.
Dude, that's why brown people didn't go north to like Norway.
100%.
Because it's too cold to go up there and do shit.
No, yeah.
We are hot weather climate people.
Definitely. I would rather lay in the sun. But speaking of sleep, though, I had a good sleep as well. I don't know what happened, but I was having really good dreams, and I woke up this morning like about 5 o'clock, and I was like, I feel like my dreams were really happening, but not in a real weird way. That what made me wake up in a good mood. So I feel all like I can feel the balls of energy bouncing off me. So yeah.
Oh wow, it's gonna be a productive day.
Yeah, I think it will be. But yeah, how's everyone feeling?
I feel sorry though. My poor dog didn't get a walk though.
Oh,
my poor puppy didn't get a walk. I was like, I'm sorry, Stel. I'm not going. I'm going to go out a little bit later.
Yeah, when it warms up.
We'll probably actually go out after this because the sun will be up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've got a New Zealand mussel shipment on the way today, so I'm pretty excited.
Is that protein?
Nah, you know how I got addicted to those Optimum Nutrition drinks? Yeah, man, I got me some of those. I'm like, yo, I need a hit.
I bet.
You know, and actually that leads off into something that I want to talk about first up this morning.
Yeah.
All right. What was your first time or your first experience drinking alcohol? Because when we were young, right, alcohol was kind of like how we see coffee and all that. Back then, it was like, oh man, I gotta get on beers. Gotta get on the beers. Can you remember the first occasion where you got on the piss? Like properly, not like tasted as a kid, but like, you're 14, 15, maybe 12, whatever, and you're on the raz.
Yeah.
Can you remember that?
I can actually, and it's funny that you say this because my best mate that I called the other night, we talked about the first time that I got hammered, and because I grew up and the drinking culture is quite big in my family. Like my dad was an alcoholic, and I grew up around it, so I didn't really have a good impression of it. But as you get, around that 14, 15 adolescent age, you get to, you go, oh yeah, because everyone's doing that, so it's kind of a thing. So you're like, okay. And in my opinion, I reckon I'm a good drunk. Like when I'm on the horse, I'm on the horse, and I'm like that vibe. Like let's party, Whereas everyone else in my family, they turn to their emotions, and it ends up being a write-off, right? You know that feeling. Anyways, my first night, I was probably like 14, and this is when I hung out with like the big kids. I was always the young kid hanging out with older kids, just like how Lucy used to, Lucy hangs out with me. She was like the young one hanging out with the older ones. That was me. I was the young one hanging out with the older ones. And my mate, Taryn, she's my bestie that lives in Raro. So it was the first time with her. She only lived down the road from me. And then, my mum trusted her because she was one of my good friends that really looked after me. And then her boyfriend at the time, his grandparents owned like a pub. and it was like a Friday night, and school was over, didn't have sport in the morning, and we went out. I think it was like South Auckland, and we went out to the pub, and no one was, because they had finished, they closed up shop, so we had all this access to all this booze, and it was like, oh yeah, drink anything you want. And like in my mind, I'm like, not even like the people that I know that are drinking, they're only like on the taking one or two of mum and dad's. They didn't have access to how we had access. Anyways, we carried on, we were drinking, and it was like all the flash stuff, and then we started making like shots, and then it was like, let's make shakers. Anyways, I ended up consuming all this alcohol, and I think the last bit of shots, and she'll know this as well, I'm going to share this video so she can see it. The last bit of shots were like mud shake shots with like,
oh yeah,
it was like cream, it was gross. Anyways, we necked those down, and then within 10 minutes you could just see me, like little 15-year-old me, just like bobbing head, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even make it to the bathroom. You know the story about nationals where everyone had to look after me?
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those. That was one of those moments. Like I was like power chuck, right off. I was a write off, and then like from the couch to the bathroom, vomit everywhere. Like I was a write off, and then after that, I don't think I ever had one of those experiences until nationals that year. But that was probably one of my times that I remember when I got given, when I was handed the juice, and then I took it with full force, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my first story with it. What about you?
Or I would say I don't know if this was the first. This is my first memory, if that makes sense, more than if this was really my first time, because it was. I was telling the guys yesterday, I was telling some stories about when I used to work at the Mount Eden Bakery and Delicatessen on Mount Eden Road, which is right opposite what is now Circus Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
So Circus Cafe is right on the corner of Ngarahoe Street and Mount Eden Road, and right opposite on the road is this big green, like old 1950s building, and it was the Mount Eden Bakery and Delicatessen. It's changed remarkably since I was there. But the way, and George and John Venables were the owners, right? George was the brains, he was the business guy. John was the guy at the back, who was the baker. And they were brothers, and they were the naughtiest sons of bitches I have ever met, right? So they'll be like my age now, so they'd be in their 40s when I met them.
Yeah.
And I was 15 when I got a job there. I was a dish hand, so I used to do the dishes, and I kind of worked my way up into become a baker's apprentice. Anyway, I did every one of my firsts. Drinking, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, driving vehicles, all the rest of it, I learned at the bakery. Really? Every single naughty shit that you can do, I learned there because of those two guys, right? And it was the most amazing life experience ever, right? And you cannot do this now, but back then George would only hire girls between 16 and 20 to do the front of house. You couldn't be any older, right? And no guys were allowed at the front. Yeah. And we were packed to the gunnels every day, and there's only the boys at the back. So there was the work crew, and then there was Anyway, there was a brother and sister, Charlotte and Carl Sangster. Fuck, I remember them like, and I'll be interested. I can't find them. I don't know what they're doing now. Yeah. But they were 19 and 20. She was 20, he was 19, and they kind of took me under their wing. Yeah. And I just turned 15, and I was doing dishes, and he taught me how to smoke cigarettes. I think you had to smoke cigarettes. Dunhill Reds. I can't remember this. Dunhill Reds.
Some Dunny Reds.
Dunny Reds. And this is when you used to buy the 10 packs. You could buy the 10-pack cigarettes, and they're like, I think they're like $1.80. Wow. Back then. $1.80, maybe $2. And this is in a dairy nut, and he'd go and buy me cigarettes and stuff like that. And he goes, "Have you ever drunk beers?" And I was like, "No." I'd tasted it, but I'd never been on the piss. And he's like, "Oh, dude, me and the boys, we play cricket, and we play indoor cricket on a Tuesday night. Why don't you come with us?" And I was a handy cricket player, so I went down and played cricket with them, and we did really well. And it was like a Tuesday night, so I got school the next day at Auckland Grammar. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, me and the boys, we just had a few beers before, afterwards. Why don't you come have a few beers?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sweet." So we're in the car park. This is in Royal Oak. So this is in a raw, like we're drinking
Yeah.
beers, and he goes, and I would, honest, yeah. For those that were there yesterday, we talked about the ice beers, ice DB ice. They're the
Yeah.
ice beers.
Yeah.
And I had one, and I was like, and sweating. I was like, this is going to, like this. And he's like, oh, bro, have another one. And I was like, oh yeah, sweet. And like an hour went past. I must have had maybe 4 or 5. It's probably 2, but like it felt like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I lolly my head around it, and everything felt really. I just really like, it feels real slow.
Yeah.
And Carl's like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good." He goes, "Oh, do another one?" I was like, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "I was going to go around to the bottle store and get a box." I was like, "Okay." I don't know what a box was. Okay, so we're around the corner, and he goes, "Well, you got $10." So I gave him $10, and sat down, and we drank. They drank a majority of the box, and I drank as much as I could, and I was fucking slaughtered. And I remember they drove me home, and Mum was waiting upstairs.
Yeah.
What time do you call this? I didn't even know what time it was. I was like, "You've been drinking?" Yeah. I was like shaking my head. I stunk to heaven of booze.
Yeah.
She's like, "You get to your room, and I'll talk about this tomorrow morning."
Yeah. Oh, God.
I got home after 1 in the morning.
And you didn't realize the time.
I know what the time was. I got home at 1 in the morning, and I woke up, and I was like,
parched.
Parched. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And just like dry, and like your tongue is stuck to the roof, and your lips are like,
yeah.
And you're just like, oh, and you're trying to drink water, like, oh yeah. It's like there's nothing happening. It's like zero moisture going down my neck. I was like, he goes, "You've been drinking with those people from the bakery, haven't you?" And I was like, "Oh," she goes, "This is what you call a hangover, and it's a dry heart, and I hope you've learned your lesson." And I was like,
"Oh,
I got grounded for a week. I wasn't allowed to work at the bakery for a week.
Really?
Yeah, Mum. Yeah, I got grounded. Yeah, Mum.
I never got grounded. Like even with that drunk story, I don't even think my mum even knows that story. Actually, to be fair, I've never shared that story. But I've never been grounded because, not saying that I'm just like the perfect child, but out of my siblings, I never really had to sneak out, or I never did anything bad because I guess me and my mum had a good relationship that she trusted me, and like I was. Like I never did anything to rebel against that because I never had to. Do you know what I mean? In that situation of me getting drunk, that was just me expressing and growing up and learning and, all of that stuff. But even in that moment, I didn't think that was bad. I think that was just an experience. You know what I mean? But yeah, I never got grounded. Yeah, look, you and Carly must have hung out at Royal Oak at the same time.
She probably tried to head on me. I probably like,
is that right, Carly? Oh, that's funny.
But that's why I am really positive towards, or really, I tell young guys and girls, go get a job and try and hang around, like try and find some. Not that my role models were amazing, but try and get around people that will kind of teach you some stuff. And Carl and George and that. I remember John was this like little white dude, and he was an amazing baker. Yeah. And I remember the first time he got me stoned, and he was like, "You ever smoke weed?" And I was like, Yeah. I made that once or twice. He goes, "Oh." So all the bakers, including me and a couple of the apprentices, we went down into the freezer. And we went into the freezer, and it's like, I don't know, minus something in there. It's like really cold. And he pulls out this huge pipe, and we start smoking this weed. And I was like going, because the senses get attacked. Yeah. And they're like, get out of the freezer. And it's summer, so the heat hit us straight away. It's like bang.
I'll make your cheese scrolls for you.
I've got like 5 hours of work left to do, and I'm literally like spitting. And I couldn't believe these boys knew how to work, right? They could just sit and they could go get stoned, come back and pump out like 10 hours of work and just like didn't bother them. And we worked at a bakery, so you got the munchies. You went to the cold store, grabbed the pie, put it in the microwave, bang, you're done.
That's so good.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's kind of where my love affair for pies have developed, right? Because
Yeah,
we
you had the
used to,
memories.
oh, dude, 100%. And I was telling the story today to the people at mobility, and for those that are in mobility class, you'll remember this one. So we're talking about pies, and yesterday we're going, oh man, what are you looking forward to? And I was like, man, a dirty pie from the bakery with a little bit of sauce and a fucking cream donut, $5, all good.
Yeah.
And then I was regaling them with a story about when I was we used to make pies, right? And you used to have this big bench, it's like 6 meters long, and you pour the pie trays in one big line, and then you just roll the pastry down, and then you bang all the whole pastry into the holes, and that forms the base, and put mixture properly. Well, you wouldn't do this now, but back then we used to smoke inside the bakery, like in the back. We'd just
really.
Oh, it was. And we were considered like one of the better bakeries as well. So if we were doing it, imagine what some of the not so great bakeries were doing. Anyway, so we used to have these open air shelves, so you could put like pots and bowls and shit above. And we used to be like, you'd be like, you're doing this, and then you put the cigarette at the top like that, right? So it's a burnt, but you could do that sort of stuff. And there'll be times you're like, you're just doing that, and you're going down the line, and then someone follows you, puts the mixture, and you get down the end of the line, you're like, oh fuck, where's my cigarette? So you go back, it's like
the ash.
No, the whole thing is fallen into a pie somewhere. Someone's put the mixture in, and the pie thing gone over the top. You're like, ooh,
cheeky dart and my steak and cheese pie.
Oh man, and you're just like, oh what? Hey, someone's gonna have a good
light
time.
Another one.
So, FYI, don't smoke anymore. Haven't done it for a very, very long time, and certainly don't recommend doing that now. But that's what we did back in the day.
Oh wow, that is hilarious. Why? This is the honest story, Carly.
Yeah, man. It was just like it was what we did back then. It's certainly not right now, and I apologize to whoever got that pie. And I have no idea where George and John Venables are right now. They are probably dead because the amount of beers and weed and cigarettes those guys smoked. I'm surprised they got to 50.
And do you like, going back to what you were just saying, like, growing up around like older people, did that help shape you in those ways? Like, obviously you don't do that stuff now, and like, but you got to experience something, right? We've got to.
I think that allows. You got faith in Danae and Danny and Pip and Jack and Gian and those guys. And so what those guys will remember when they get to our age. Yeah. Oh man, I used to hang out with Chief and Mo and Fee and all of that, and those people helped inform the way that I lived. And so I think that's a really positive thing. We certainly didn't do a lot of good things, but we
I think that's the best part, though. I can agree with you in terms of like, I remember like what you were just saying, and how they will remember us is how I remember growing up as well, as having like my girls like Taryn and Tals and Laura and all of that, and they were the older ones that I would hang out with. Yeah, we did some dumb stuff, but at the same time, some of those memories have shaped me to the person that I am right now, and some of those values are still instilled in me, like, or some of those mistakes that happened. I reminded, so then I don't make that same mistake. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon too. It's quite cool, actually.
And like some of my best experiences when I was a child, when I was a teenager, was the bakery. It was literally like how probably Faith and that see our gym. I saw the bakery. My first long-term girlfriend I met there at the bakery. The parties, we would all meet at the bakery because all of us would hang out together, and it was a pretty cool experience. And but those older guys certainly taught me a few things. Not necessarily good things though.
Hey, no, let's rock. I got something to ask you though. What is the hardest WOD you have ever done? What's the hardest WOD? Yeah,
it is by far the brutality test.
Is it the airline?
No, the ankle.
Oh yeah, okay.
The ankle test, hands down. Hands down, I don't care. A lot of people say Fran's hard. Like, Fran is ridiculously hard.
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
But you haven't experienced life until you haven't experienced a hard workout until you fucking strap that ankle on.
Yeah.
And back then the test was 20 minutes, not 12. And I think the 12-minute test is just as hard.
Yeah.
But the mental side of it is just like, and you've done the ankle with us, and there's people on here. There's people that are super fit that come in, they do ankle, and within a minute they're like, this is nuts, man. And you want me to do this for 12 minutes?
There's nothing like being in that harness though, because it is like it tests everything, and I reckon it comes down to where your headspace is at. You could be the fittest, person, you could be the strongest person, you can be, whatever. You could be Spider-Man, and that harness will fucking, excuse my language for so early in the morning, can hurt you, and not hurt you in a bad way, but push your boundaries, man. And I think it pushes that threshold that no other WOD can. My hardest WOD would probably be one that I love doing, though, because it's like that challenge, is the chief WOD. That power clean, hang power cleans, I think it is. We did
the power clean push up air squat.
Yeah, that one. That but
5 3-minute cycles.
Yeah, and it's one of those WODs, again, you sit at the cusp of I'm hurting, but I can't give up, or I can't go slower because it's just a world of pain. You know what I mean? But that'd probably be mine. What's everyone else's? What's your guys' hardest WOD you've ever done? And I mean, you program some hard stuff. Would the harness be harder than your 24-hour races? Because I know you that's a hard in itself.
It's hard to compare it because it's completely different metrics. However, I think ankle mentally is tougher. Right, and that'd be weird to say because, like, man, you're running for 24 hours and you're going around the desert and all the rest of it. I think because the pain gradually builds on the 24-hour race. It's like you start really fresh, and it just, after the first hour you feel really good. After the first 6 hours, you still feel really, and like that feels weird. People me to say, like, running for 6 hours, you feel really good. You literally don't start hurting until the 12-hour mark.
Yeah,
and then at the 12-hour mark, that's when you're like, the handbrake comes on, but the pain doesn't get any worse. You just get more tired because, like, it's, you're up 24 hours. But with ankle, it's like you feel really good, and after the first 10 seconds, you've hit the wall already, and then it's like, oh fuck, I have 11 minutes and 50 seconds still to go.
Yeah,
and it just feels like it goes for an eternity. And I think, and it's you got your partner yelling at you, and the worst thing is when you have a partner who doesn't do the support thing. That is the worst. Like, that literally is the worst thing ever. Because it's just. But I believe it is mentally tougher.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that harness. We were going to pick up a harness on the lockdown, and then we were like, "Oh, better not, eh?" Yeah. Because then it would be like, it'd either just sit there, or it would be like, we're just going to put ourselves through hell.
Yeah. It's a tough thing, When we built the Rage program, it was all centered around mental toughness.
Yeah.
We didn't build Rage test was all, a lot of people probably came out with the same level of fitness going out of the Rage program as opposed to the start.
Yeah.
But what they got out of it was learning how to, drop the hammer and push, or find a second gear and go for it there, or whatever. Like, it's just a game changer, man. Like, and so many people aren't willing to do it because it hurts that much.
Yeah.
But if you do it, you learn some stuff, and it's an incredibly. I get humbled in it every time I'm there. Like, I think we used to do like the Rage program. I think Carly will probably remember, maybe 6 or 7 times a year. Yeah. And every session was hard. Like, every session. Every session would suck balls.
What's the WOD where it is the not brutality test? It's the sprint on the assault bike. That's the one I think Carly's just ridden. But it's not I go, you go. Is it death race? What's the death race?
Oh, that's the
It's cows, eh? Max cows or something?
No, death race is 5 rounds, I want to say 20 cal bike, 10 burpees.
Yeah, something. Oh, yeah, it was something like that, eh?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
big
I mean,
blowout.
acid bath is pretty close.
Yeah, acid
For
bath.
those
That's
that don't,
probably.
yeah. Acid bath was the 500-meter row into the 500-meter ski into 500-meter row into 1,000-meter bike. Like
Damn.
that's and but it doesn't hurt during it. It hurts when you finish.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you finish, you just hit this you finish like yeah, and then bang. And all of a sudden your legs are gone, your VMO, your teardrop muscle in your legs are just shot to pieces. Your heart's kind of like going, it's literally trying to blow out the valves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Senior guys, would you rather's? Also, I know that everyone saw the post about Jamie Green on the Buttery Bros episode. I'm just putting it out there. Why not? Why not ask if we can get her in? Why not ask if she wants to join in on the banter? Let's make it a little bit CrossFit related, but a little bit more. Let's get to know Jamie Green. But I'm putting that out there. I just shared that post because that video went live, and I think if anyone hasn't seen the Buttery Bros, that's a good episode or good series of YouTubers, I guess. Jamie Green was on it, so I just shared that.
We can say that we have sent a message to her through our social media platforms. So it's just a wait and see. We just don't know. But hopefully, man, and it'd be nice to kind of get to know the person a little bit more from the Kiwi side and just have some good yarns and talk about some of the games experiences that she has had.
I have no doubt, bro, that it won't not happen. Like, I have all belief that it might not happen next week, but I believe that sometimes she'll want to call in and have a yarn. That's just what I'm saying. I'm manifesting that hard. But yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Tucked me in and Uncle Hannah saying, I got my ass kicked. I joined 808 the next day. Yes, Tama. Yes.
Yeah, he did.
See, the Encore harness is keeping everyone humble. And I think everyone needs a little bit of that sometimes.
Yeah. Hey,
so
what song are you vibing with right now? Or artist?
Artist.
Or have you discovered someone new?
I haven't. The playlist has just been on rotation. Who have you got first?
I've discovered a producer called Kayzo, Kayzo.
Yeah.
I will share some of his stuff on the banter thing today and on our social media platforms. So this kid is kind of like a dubstep, electronic EDM type guy, but what he does is he mashes it with bands like Papa Roach and Our Last Night and a lot of bands that I follow, right? Because a lot of people know that I'm, not only am I a hip hop fiend, but I love my not heavy metal, but my what you probably call metalcore or thrash metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so stuff that's not just screamo, but it's like real good heavy riffs and whatever.
Yeah.
Papa Roach is a band that I would describe as kind of that evolution of new metal into whatever.
Yeah.
And he's done some really amazing covers, and I discovered him via one of my bands I'm into at the moment, but I Prevail.
Yeah.
And I Prevail did a thing, hey, check this out, and they put it on their stream. It's like sick. So Kayzo had done an epic cover of it.
Yeah.
So as you do dive into YouTube, and all of a sudden I've got about 19 of his songs downloaded, and like fiending for it. So Kayzo. So Kayzo is who I'm checking out. Kayzo. Pretty ruthless. It's good, if you're not a really hardcore worker, chuck that shit on.
I've honestly, so my playlist that's just been on rotation like the last 2 weeks. That's just like same old. But I've been jamming. My go-to at the moment is old school Eminem.
Oh yeah,
like his "You Don't Want to Fuck with Shady," like his first album. That album, like his earlier albums I've been jamming, like the real deep stuff where he was like all crazy and stuff, but like lyrically so talented, tells a story. It's amazing.
He's retarded. That's how good he is.
Yeah,
he's unreal. So send us your top songs, because we can put them on our playlist, and we are going to share our playlist today that we're listening to and vibing off. And if you want to grab some of those songs, man, hit them up, because there's some sick stuff in there. And music. I'm really inspired by music, so you might find some inspiration out there as well.
Hey, there's 2 would you rathers that we would go before we pick a number. Send your numbers through and we'll do these 2 would you rathers. Would you rather do 24 hours of DT or 24 hours of Linda? What's Linda?
10-1 bench clean deadlift.
Oh, I'll do DT all day. I'll
do Linda. I'll do Linda. Yeah.
Your chest will
just
be
because my back would be shot to pieces with the amount of hinging. The bench would be like a nice respite, but they both suck. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be going hard. I'd be like going 10 bench press, rest 3 minutes.
Yeah.
10 deadlift, rest 45 minutes.
TT and Linda though sound like a old army couple, like just the initials. DT is the man and Linda the lady.
Very much.
And there's another. Would you rather there? Would you rather? Would you rather have goldfish eyes or pixie ears?
Good, Nick. I'd go pixie ears, goldfish eyes. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know. I would. My eyes are already big enough.
Yeah, you
got
big.
More pork.
All right. Send us your numbers, team. 1 to 150.
Yeah.
Has anyone done money?
Yes, I think there was one. I think someone did.
Someone did one? Okay. I just thought it was like, 150. No one's done 150?
No.
All right, 10 seconds. Otherwise, we will
pick a
number. I reckon if it goes to me, I'm going to hit that number 1.
Okay.
Hit it. Number 1. Give it to me.
Quote of the day is, be realistic. Plan for a miracle.
Yeah, good. That's kind of fits into what we're talking about.
Yeah, it is. And the times of everything right now. And be realistic. Plan for a miracle. I believe in manifesting. And so that quote in itself is, I'm constantly planning for that miracle all the time. It might not come today, it might not come next week, but I know eventually it will come because I believe in it. But yes.
You do.
Yes, brother. Thanks, guys, for joining us this morning. It's been awesome.
Empty.
Yeah. That's a good range, eh? That's a good range of when we can sign off is when we finish our coffee.
Yeah, finish your brew.
Yeah.
You're done for today.
Yeah.
All the very best, team. Look
Have
after
a good
yourselves.
day, and we'll see you on our social media platforms just to share the music and stuff and catch up. So have a good day, fam. Nothing but love.
Peace out.
Peace.
Love you all.